Bob Kleppel,
Here.
Kevin Creedy,
Here.
Tessie Steffens, Sparky Stuckenschneider. Here. Jeannie Miller-Wood,
Here.
Dave Waymeyer, Betty Werner,
Here.
Gavin Woolley,
Here.
Albert,
Here.
Jeff Packey.
On his way.
Okay.
Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes from our November 8th meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion by John, second by Betty. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And Wayne, the report?
Okay, so we have a lot, we have a lot, the Parks Department has a lot, in particular maintenance staff going on these days with the nice weather. We've been able to do a lot of smaller tasks that we put off during the summer because we're too busy, and with the weather being nice, we've been getting a lot of tasks completed, small tasks, and then even stuff that's outside of parks, like if you've been up to City Hall recently, you saw that whole side of the grass area tore up. That was us. The foundation was leaking, and so we had to dig down, find the cracks. There was 3 cracks, get them sealed up, and then backfill it and repair the irrigation, and we put down sod. And so a lot of projects that don't always happen in the parks are happening. The auditorium brickwork is, the roof is complete, as we know. The brickwork is almost complete. There were a number of bricks. I had to meet with the contractor out there where the faces of the bricks were coming off. And so we'll have a small change order to do, but we'll get a lot of the cracks, crevices, holes patched up and completed, and we should be good. The brick is sealed with a sealant also, and we should be good for a long time, or fairly long time. We didn't want, I met with the contractor, the owner's rep, and ran it by the city administrator, and I didn't want to kick this can down the line for someone else to deal with in 5 years, so we're getting everything that we need to get fixed now. We had a contingency built in. Most of the contingency covered the brick repairs. There was a little over that we'll have to cover with a change order, but we'll be in good shape, and they anticipate this work starting next week and hopefully completed, if the weather stays nice, probably by the end of the year. So, and then we'll be out of that project finally. Miller Post, we put down, or spread, I should say, 30 tandems of compost on the new trails in the upper loop up there. And so when I say upper loop, it's the new trails. You have the cabin, and then the big open field, and there's a new loop that goes. The 2 trail ends kind of meet or dead into that big field, but there's quite a big loop that runs down the old farm road and then comes down along the creek and then back up towards the field. So am I describing that correctly?
Pretty much. It borders with the Echo Camp
Yes.
property.
So 30 tandems of mulch got spread there, and we still have more to do, though. A lot of the other spurs and trails that we put in here over the last year still need compost, but we're getting there. And the dry weather has been helping, so that's good. Lafayette Plaza update. I don't really have much of an update. I've been on the contractor to get back there. Talked to him today and put a little pressure on him. He thinks that someone will be here next week to start pouring that concrete inside the park. So we shall see. But I have been in contact with him, and the lines of communication is open, so that's good. I think since last time we met, all the park benches, I think at the last meeting, the West Trail benches had been installed, but now all the east benches have been installed. So all the benches we sold, which is like, I think 15, 16 of them, all the people that had come forth with the $2,500 have their benches in place. And so now we're looking at, I think I mentioned this last meeting, a lot of the benches that are already installed that are from 1995, those are some of the oldest benches we have. and some of them that are in the worst shape, looking at taking those out. If there's in locations where a bench is still needed, possibly replacing some of those. And so I need to get out and look at those. We have them logged into GIS, and they are technically on the city website, although you probably couldn't find them right now. And we'll be moving that link to the park page where it's more accessible under the memorial tree and bench tab there, because we have all the benches logged, and we think we have all the trees, all the current memorial trees logged in GIS. And then as we go forward, we'll be logging all the new ones that are sold in GIS. And so if someone says, I want to know where my tree is or my bench is, it's somewhere on the West Trail, they can get on the map and start going down, blowing up the West Trail, and they'll see all these little red pin dots, and they can click on the pin, and it'll tell you whose bench it is and a lot of other information about it. So it'll be good. Lake fountain update. Fountain stopped working again. We pulled it out. It's in St. Louis at the company that sold it to us. It's kind of being the middleman between us and the manufacturer. They are on our side and are working with the manufacturer on trying to get a resolution to why this keeps happening. Other than that, I don't know why it keeps happening, but they're fighting for us because they don't think it's normal either.
Is that under warranty?
Well, I think we're past our warranty date, but we keep having so many problems. I'm not sure how long this is going to continue, where they've been willing to work with us, I should say, up until this point. And I don't know that they're not willing to work with us now. They just haven't been the manufacturer hasn't been real responsive to the company in St. Louis that's working on our behalf. But that's not particularly abnormal either for the company, for the manufacturer, seems like anything these days really. But so we're working through that, but it is out and it is in St. Louis, so we'll keep plugging away on that one. Since the last meeting, we had the very nice and well-attended Angel of Hope ceremony. I was not able to attend. I was in a parking lot at Lafayette High School watching from my phone and answering questions because I don't think there was any communication issues on our end, but I think some people that don't go to Facebook Live a lot couldn't quite figure out what they were doing. And so we were getting messages to our Facebook account saying, I thought this was going to be on Facebook Live, and I'm like, I'm watching it right now on Facebook Live. So I was messaging those people, taking screenshots. I was like, it's live right now. Here it is. And so both people that messaged us while I was sitting there did figure it out and thanked us after the ceremony. So that was good. But I don't know, Betty. You know how many people you think were in attendance?
They said possibly 250. They thought there was at least, we bought 300 flowers. So there was only maybe, I guess 25 or 30 left. So you're looking at 270 people.
And then however many online too.
That was amazing because and I've told Robin this, live streaming it. I have family in different parts of the country and they all got to watch it last year and this year. And they're just thrilled to be able to watch it being live streamed.
I read some of the comments on our Facebook page after that, and I got that impression also that, people weren't saying I'm from Illinois and I was
Right.
watching, but I could tell by the way they were writing the comments. They're like, oh, my whoever has a brick there, and I was, this is great that you live streamed it and we're able to watch it.
And I I had a function for my youngest granddaughter, and so I got to watch, starting at 7, watch it. And I was surprised about how emotional I was watching it being live streamed, because I've always been there in person.
No.
And it's very touching, and please, I hope we can always continue to live stream it because it means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
No, okay.
I know Robin had I think you and her were working through that, and in order for it to be broadcast live, I think Robin missed a family thing with her grandson to do it. So she does, she looks forward to it every year, and
It's very special to us, and
Yeah.
and we are very grateful to the city for everything that they have done you know, to get us the land and everything. It's just, it's an amazing addition to this community, and it's a very wonderful way to outreach to parents and to family members because they know that the city is part of this. And so I just got a letter from the Christmas box people who started the statue, and there are now 168 statues in the United States, just
I-
like ours.
Found a list this summer, and this is like one of the things that I'm backlogged on. A friend of mine is a parks director in Belleville, Illinois now, and they have one. And on their, when he started that job this summer, I went to their website and was looking to see what kind of amenities they have, and I found this on there, and they have a list on their website showing, it's like an Excel sheet showing where all the statues are around the country. And so
Oh,
I
okay,
found that link and I printed it, and I want to try to get that up on our website too.
yeah.
I saw one in Massachusetts.
Yeah, Jeannie, I was gonna say, someone
Yeah.
sent me a picture
It
this
was me,
summer,
yeah.
yeah.
I was just out for a walk and stumbled upon one, and it was, ours is better.
Yeah, and St. Charles
Yours is
has a
pretty
lovely one in,
Yeah.
in Blanchett Park too, so.
It's just nice that all over the country, you can
We
probably,
can go visit, yeah.
it's just nice.
Thank you very much to all of you for supporting it in the way that we do.
Speaking of social media, I wanted to give you guys, I don't have too much of an update on this, but I want to make you guys aware in case one day it just automatically goes away. The city is they're trying to streamline their communication with the public. And so not everyone, but most departments that have their own Facebook or social media presence will be combined into like one city, page, app, I guess it is, it's an app, so the Parks Department's gonna, I guess, kind of be dissolved into the cities, and then, like, we'll still be able to post stuff, so when we wanna post, we'll create a post just like we do, and then it'll go to the city clerk or whoever, and it'll get posted, but we can do that, anyone that has the app on their phone, so Casey, Robin, me, Chad, whoever, can do this from the field, submit it to whoever's gonna be the approver, and say, post this, and then the public will download, instead of having to be a friend, like, some people aren't on social media. So people that aren't on social media, or people that don't wanna follow 10 different city Facebook pages, can download this app on their phone, the city app, and anything that's posted by all the departments will be on this, in one place on the app. So it could be parks, engineering, I don't know, administration, all will be on one app. And so you will be, if you have this app on your phone, you can say, oh, Parks is having an Angel of Hope ceremony today, and tomorrow there's a traffic commission meeting. You know, it'll all be posted in one spot, so.
Is that necessarily a good thing?
Yeah, I think it will be. We'll be able to reach
Why
more.
wouldn't it
You know, well.
More
if you-
people that
if-
way.
If you're wondering about the swimming pool or a, event in the park, do you really want to look what's happening in the sewer department?
You don't have to.
Department there, or, yeah, I'm sorry. It will, what the app will look like, of course, you'll have, I think, 4, maybe 5 basic headings. And if you want to learn about parks, you click on parks, and it scrolls down. It'll be a lot more manageable, not just for us, but for our users too. You can, and it interfaces with Facebook, Twitter, all the social media, so
Oh,
you
okay.
can still, you want to post something on our app, send it to Facebook, you will be able to do that.
Is it similar to what the school district has now?
I
Where
haven't
it
seen
has-
theirs, but that's what, yeah.
Yeah, I
pretty
think
much.
it
I
is.
don't think we have the
It,
same.
it is nice.
And
I can
when
show
is this going live, or?
We're not sure.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I wasn't sure. You probably have more information than I do.
We're gonna try and get it done by January, probably February, maybe March, at the very latest.
So Gavin, like in your instance, it kind of be, the way to think about it would be maybe like a web page. So you might you go to one spot for all your information, but at that spot, you might have a tab for sewer department, parks department, engineering.
don't have to
And so
weed
if you want to
through.
know when Angel Hope Ceremony, you click on the parks department tab, it'll come up. And then the other part too is with the app company then redesigns our website too. And so everything we post through the app will show up on, like you see a lot of websites like this, their social media feed will be on the right-hand side of the screen. So that's where you, if you go to the city website, you might see information about sewer department, parks department, engineering, all scrolling through when you go to the city website too.
I think the difference mainly is, Gavin, is that Wayne and Robin, they post on the Facebook page.
Right.
So you see that. Now, other departments don't, the street department doesn't say we're having leaf pickup as often or maybe even as good as Wayne may do to the parks page. But it will allow that to happen. So if it's a holiday last night, wonder when my trash pickup is, go to the app, you look at the trash pickup and you look at that section and you see it. And when you're on there, you hit parks and then you find out that there's an Angel of Hope ceremony that night. And I think that's kind of the whole grasp of it is that you might not be looking for sewer line replacement,
Right.
but you're gonna look at something in the parks and then find out that, leaf pickup or heavy trash pick, there's just
Right.
a lot of different aspects of all of
Yeah.
those things.
There will be a learning curve, but not much of one. I don't know, Bart, I don't do Facebook, I certainly don't do Twitter, and,
X,
X.
I don't either.
But the way it was explained to us also is the fact that people, if you use it and you make it as an alert on your phone, it's more like your, code red
Oh, okay.
will be through that also. So, that you set it up as an alert on your phone, when code red comes up, it automatically gets on your phone.
So is the app somewhat redundant as far as what's also on the website? Or will, this won't replace the website, will it, or will it?
replace it. I think the website will become part of the app. They will certainly interface, if you will. We don't want our citizens, there's stuff on, according to our users, the website, the city website, washington.gov, that are very, very cumbersome to use. And this will make it a lot easier for them. They can do it over here on the new app, chuck it down to washington.gov in a much more usable fashion, especially for our employees and for users like everybody in this room.
Okay. Thank you.
Will you be able to, like, this is live right now, will you be able to go to that on the app also?
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Glad you came, because you know way more about it than I do. I just wanted to make you guys aware if one day we didn't have a Facebook page, that's why.
Really, I looked at it as a twofold improvement. It's, Wayne can say this, and it can go to a lot of places, and he doesn't have to do it to a lot of,
Yeah, that's-
I don't have to go to X, and I don't have to go to Facebook, and I don't have to go to the website.
Okay.
They'll take care of that part of it, but the second thing is we get a lot of requests for, how come my trash didn't get picked up today? And, Sherry does a really good job, I think, of putting it out on Facebook. Hey, we're running behind, we're gonna pick you guys up tomorrow, and it's this area, and has a map and all of that. But if you don't have Facebook, you don't know that. You just come home and your trash can's full.
Like, same thing, if you don't have the app, you're not gonna,
Correct, but this gives an option to those that don't want to do the social media thing. They would still have an option to check a box and say, I want to be notified if this. Trying to get the communication chain open as much as we can, so, we might know that because we have Facebook and we follow it, but if my neighbor doesn't, how are they going to find out?
For those of us who attend meetings, it's on there. For those who look at what's going on in the parks, it's on there. For those who want to see that meeting that happened last night, it's on there. For those who, like you said,
Yeah.
it goes to all those social media pages who don't, for those who only want code red, well, then set it up as an alert and code, or whenever something like that happens, that's going to be available there. And then you just go to search it if you want. So it should be user friendly, like you said, and all in one, all inclusive, but the neat part to me is it doesn't exclude the social media.
Got
It includes it, but it doesn't require it, I guess is the best way to.
Right.
It includes it, but it doesn't require it, so then for everyone's available, yeah. John hates X, but he likes Facebook, so then you can see it. Gavin doesn't like Facebook because his wife posts pictures of him, he likes to use X, or what, you know what I mean? So everyone has their reasons, but this is a way to include everything.
Thank you.
All right, two more quick things. I met with the Sarah Lowe from the Soccer Association last week, I think it was, with Chad and Robin. went through our annual end of the season discussion, met up at the fields, looked at the fields. Nothing major to report. All relationships good. Things are moving along smoothly, just like we all envisioned it would a couple years ago. And so the only thing that really came up was at the end of October, we had someone, they were caught on camera trying to break into the concession stand, and then they ripped the camera off the building after they were already on camera. And the police, I just got notified of this today, I got the report, caught the guy, talked to the police officer, and they said, yeah, we think we know who it is based on a tattoo on his hand. And I read the report today. They did some serious detective work to catch this guy, and they have him. They know who it is, and I think it's going through the judicial process now, but I was pretty impressed. All from just some tattoo on the guy's hand.
Those guys, I was fortunate enough last week to visit the police department at shift change, and when those guys share the information of what happens throughout the day, the things that go on over there that you don't even realize is unbelievable, and things like that, where they share what this guy did this morning, and then how they carry on that conversation or carry on that knowledge through the next shift, and what you're looking for was second to none. And that was just road officers, and one sergeant was there, and I was impressed. It was phenomenal. Wayne, there's no issue of mud. They haven't reseeded, and I've heard a lot of soccer people say it's in worse shape now, that there's not as much grass and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, they did, I mean, they had some internal issues this year with, Field 2 and, when was that? Before the fair? I think right before their season started. We were getting rain, and then it would get super humid, and they got a fungus up there, and it took a toll on the field. I have some pictures from throughout the year this year. And Fields 3 and 1 recovered pretty well. They actually look pretty good. But Field 2 didn't recover as well. And we did some work on that field a couple years ago. There were some low spots. We brought in some sod, and there still seems to be a few low spots on that field. So I don't know if that's the one they're talking about where there might be mud. It doesn't seem that the grass, they're reseeding. They're doing what they're supposed to per the contract.
Okay.
But they had a rough year, I think, this year with fungus, like a lot of homeowners did too. And so they're working through that. And irrigate, just like anything, there was a couple of irrigation problems they had to work through too this year, but that was all on them, so.
Because they're still playing, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a little practice going on up there till about the end of this month, which is pretty typical, because my son's still practicing too.
Excuse me, Wayne. Years ago, they talked about crowning that Field 2, because it always did trap water up there. Has there been any more discussion about that?
Well, that'd be on them. They have done some work up there. I think they did some work to Field 2 last year, if I recall correctly. I think they brought in some sod and had it laid down too. But if they needed that's part of their contract, so,
Okay.
That would be extensive.
yeah.
You'd be talking like fair, the midway, you're talking about hauling dirt in and crowning it and resodding the whole thing. I don't expect that.
That's all I had for Parks.
Okay. Old business, the dog park ribbon cutting.
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to say for those that thank you to those that attended. It was very muddy, and now it hasn't rained since, go figure. But it seemed like a very nice event, and I have gotten several calls since the ribbon cutting that people are very happy with the dog park. I got one this week, actually, and I thought it was going to be a complaint call because of the way it came in. And the guy was very appreciative of everything we've been doing over there, so. Even though there's not any grass there right now. And that's kind of what he was calling about, not to complain though, but he had a couple suggestions, and then I told him an idea that we're working on for the spring, and he was very appreciative, so.
Well, I missed something. Parks and the communications from the audience. That'd be you. Nothing? Okay. I can put a check mark. Okay, plastic bag recycling.
So there's our box, well, one of the 3 boxes we have. And so we just got them in this week. Tina assembled them yesterday. We can put one at the library. I talked to the library director. He's happy to have one in their vestibule when you walk in over there. We can put one here at City Hall. I don't know where to put the 3rd one. I think, as I mentioned last meeting, or maybe that was over email, I can't remember.
I
The
suggest-
recycling center doesn't want it anywhere close to the
Right.
recycling center because they don't want people.
I suggested you look at the south side of 100 somewhere.
Yes, I do remember that email, but I don't know where, because
Phoenix Park?
do you think they need to go inside though?
Phoenix Park?
Do you think they need to be inside a building though?
I don't
Put
know.
it underneath.
It needs a couple bricks in the bottom,
Yeah,
that's
you
for sure.
weight it down and
Yeah.
it might be okay.
Weight it
You
down.
could put
We
it
could put it under the pavilion over
there,
there.
pavilion.
Up against the
Put
building
some
there.
bricks on the bottom of it and put it in the
I think
pavilion there.
disappear.
That's a
Have we talked to a Schnucks or anybody about, I'm going back, I can put my bags in here on the way in?
Right.
Well, they do that.
They do it.
I don't know if
They
they
have,
get.
they have 2 of them, one in both entrances, they have
I
a,
walk right past them, never notice.
yeah, they're there.
I've been very surprised since the article came out in the paper, which has been a month ago, I guess.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot of calls about this, wondering, we put in there that it would start January 1st, and people are wondering where the boxes are. We got one this week, I think, yesterday maybe.
Oh, good. 75 bags make a pound.
People seem excited.
Really?
How many?
Wow.
How many?
Well, it's more than, but
I think we need 1,000
the
pounds.
thing of it is,
Yeah,
but
but you'll get
yeah,
it.
you'll
I'm
get
surprised
it.
Yeah.
that we get it Four Rivers for the homeless mats.
yeah, but it's more than
Every day
just
the thing
plastic
is just
bags.
bye-bye.
It's anything that's like
Anything
bubble wrap.
cellophane.
Yeah, I have
anything
bubble
that you
wrap
wanna
in there
get
right
rid
now
of,
that we got yesterday
know,
in the package.
Sandwich bags.
It's just about everything, so it's pretty,
Yeah, so we can put it at Phoenix Park, so we'll have one here at City Hall, one at the library, and one at Phoenix Park.
What happens at Phoenix Park when it disappears in 2 weeks?
Well, that's why I wasn't really, we can try it. I mean, good thing is we have 2 other boxes, and they are kind of close together, so we could, if that one gets vandalized, we could take maybe the one here from City Hall and try to find another location inside somewhere.
well,
I don't know where that-
have
Maybe the old post
Put
office.
one in my vestibule at the bank. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
That's
there you go.
outside.
doesn't matter to me.
Well, that's great, rather, I mean, the library in here kind of.
Yeah, there,
Yeah.
yes,
I'm on the south side of 100.
yeah, that'd be great.
that would be
I got
good.
a spot.
Okay.
But online, they say 2 drop-off points in Washington is Kohl's and Schnucks. And that's what they do.
Once we collect the bags and get 1,000 pounds, we have to take it to Kohl's or Schnucks to ship it to the company, and then they ship it to the company.
They do. Okay, gotcha.
And our new community app will have where you can bring your bags to, including First State Community Bank, the library, and
You got a-
Marketplace.
You got
City
a
Hall or-
logo you can put on there or something?
Oh, yeah, I have some stickers downstairs I can put on.
City logo on it.
Yeah,
And if you use
That's great. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Good,
Yeah, thank you.
good place, good.
Cost me anything.
Okay, anything else on the plastic bag recycling?
Takes a lot.
That was Betty's idea, brought it up, that was
job,
good,
Betty.
good idea.
Good job, Betty.
New business,
all right, new business,
the
first
pool
thing.
card attached.
Yeah, in your packet, you have a flyer, a very nice and colorful flyer that Casey designed for the visit card promotion this year. I wanted to run this by you. If you guys approve this tonight, we would like to start selling them tomorrow for Christmas gifts.
I make a motion, we approve it.
And this would be the,
Second,
I
yeah.
have a second.
this would be the earliest that we've ever done this. Usually it's like right before the season opens, and so you got 3 different price categories, and staff did a little research on this, and this is how other agencies, Parks and Rec agencies or cities do things like this, where as you get a little closer to the start date of the pool or pool opening, it gets a little more expensive. And hopefully this will solve some of the problems, probably won't solve all of them, but last year I know Robin went, or actually the staff at the pool, I should say, had a guy screaming at them. He came in a day or 2 days after the promotion ended And we were talking about, the discount was, you know, it was over $15, and he just berated our staff over $15, and he was 2 days late. You know, for a promotion that had been going on for a couple months.
3 months.
And so hopefully this will maybe solve some of that a little bit, and we'll do our best to get it out on Facebook. But I think once people start talking about it, it'll catch on pretty quick. I guess my question is anyone have any questions or anything to add to the flyer?
Yeah. Is this gonna be an online sale or an in-person sale? You know, it says use pool code to unlock the discount, you know, then the only website listed is very small letters at the very bottom of the flyer.
It's online. I'll stick a QR code to it before I actually put it done, so I don't have that slide yet. But you can do both.
Okay.
Because it'll go through our Civic Rec, our recreation software program is like a website that they go to register for programs and things like that, and so they can buy the cards on there. And then how do they physically get the card though?
If they've got one, it just
Renews.
uses the one they have, or if they need a new one, then they have to come in.
Okay, we probably need to add that too then.
Will this be publicized through the local media?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we'll get it out. I don't know if Missourians listen, I know the reporters sometimes listens live and then calls me the next day about things we talked about in this meeting, so. Yep, we'll be, if you guys don't have any questions about the pricing or anything like that, we'll get it out tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I think I heard a motion by Betty and second by Jeannie, or Bob.
Either one.
Jeannie, Bob. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Very good. Great idea. Good. Go ahead, next.
Next is Riverfront East-West Trail Connection Grant. I'm happy to finally announce, after hinting around about it for, I feel like 9 months, we have received the grant to connect the East and West Trail down at Riverfront Park. And so now I have lots more paperwork to do to get this thing rolling. But there were 30 applications with funding requests of totaling $5.8 million received by the state, and only 7 projects were approved for grant assistance. And so that includes us. We're one of the 7. So feel very lucky. And so we have to have this project, which won't be a problem, fully completed, paperwork in with the state and federal government by October 31st, 2026. And so we're getting the federal, we got the max amount available from the feds, which is $250,000, and then we're matching it between the city and what they consider volunteer labor. Thank you. $172,950. So we're getting a free $250,000 grant, and then we'll match it. Our volunteer labor will match $172,950 to complete this. So first step will be to go out for an RFQ for plans, and then complete an environmental, they call it a National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA review, that we'll have to do, which is somewhat involved. So those would be the first steps. So start working on that this winter.
Now, is that a federal grant administered by the state?
Yes. Yep, through DNR, or through the state parks, I should say. So that's good. Good news.
Congratulations, Wayne.
Good job.
Yeah, way to go.
Perseverance.
Yes. Yeah, because that's our second one. We applied last year, didn't get it, applied again this year, and we got it, so.
Very good. Next.
All right, Miller Post Nature Reserve Pavilion Shelter donation. Miller Post Advisory Committee had a meeting recently. Jackie Miller Huber has been, she is now on the committee and very involved, and has been kind of the middle person or point person between the advisory board and Mark Tobin, who donated the $25,000 last year about this time. We put in all those trails up there in the last year. But putting in, as I mentioned before, putting in trails is not super costly, just a lot of labor time. And so we were looking for another, I've been searching, and I asked him during the ribbon cutting at the Riverfront Playground if he had any ideas on what he wanted the rest of the money to go to, and he didn't really have anything. After discussing it with the advisory board and knowing what Jackie Miller intention was for that property, and her intention was to get kids up there and education and things like that. In order to do that, we need to have somewhat of a shelter in place in case the weather would get bad for Boy Scout groups or school groups and things like that. And so Jackie asked Mark if he would be open to the idea of building a shelter up there for school kids or Boy Scout groups. And he said, yes, that would be fine. And I'm going to work, I have not approached Four Rivers yet about it, but I'm going to see, the Four Rivers students recently, 2019, built a pavilion for the police department at the shooting range out by the recycling center. And staff and I have looked at that, turned out very nice. And I'm going to approach Four Rivers, have a contact, I think it's the right contact, approach him and see if they're open to building a shelter, and then Mark's donation would pay for the materials, some of the materials, most of the materials. We'll see. I know a lot of things have went up in cost since 2019, so we'll see how far that gets us. But that's the plan. And so here in hopefully this month, while it's still warm, I'd like to get Mark and take him on a tour up at Miller Post and show him the trails we put in, and then discuss in person this pavilion with him. So that's where we're at. Just wanted to give you guys an update about that.
Would it kind of stay with the theme that we now have with our pavilions? The current ones, or would it be something?
Well, we won't, it'll likely be wooden structure,
Okay.
with a tin roof. I have pictures of what they built at the shooting range, turned out very nice, with a concrete pad under it. Those shelters we put up at the lake, we got 3 shelters for $250,000, I think. Maybe it was a little more than that, right around that price. So we likely won't be able to afford a metal structure, and they likely wouldn't be able to put that in. Four Rivers likely wouldn't be able to put a structure that big with those big iron posts in the ground. If we want Four Rivers to do it, it would likely have to be like wood construction, which will fit in nice up there. It's a nature reserve, so wood theme.
The pavilions
Just
down
curious.
at Riverfront
Yeah.
are wooden, and they hold up pretty darn well.
Yeah.
How big a pavilion you talking about up there?
I can't remember. I know I have it written downstairs. The advisory board asked the same question the other day. I have paperwork on it downstairs, but I cannot remember how big it is off the top of my head. I need to look that up.
To be determined.
I'd compare it just off memory. It's close to what the smaller pavilion was on Lions Lake. Not the big one behind the stage, but one in the corner, maybe that size. It might be a little bigger than that.
That's big.
Off of Grand there?
Well, the original one that's no longer there, that was.
Oh, up on the high pavilion.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they're about the same size,
Size,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, it was about that.
Same style of construction
Yeah.
is basically what they put down at the shooting range.
Yeah, about that size.
Size might depend on how much it costs right now.
And then the memorial tree application?
Yes, I just wanted to make you guys aware, staff have started calling the people on the wait list for memorial trees, and so if you hear anyone out and about talking about that, and we'll be getting our, the finalized flyer out and about, copies made, distributing them, everything like that, and so just if you recall, the tree's $500. We get the tree, we order it, we plant it. The stone, if they want a stone, they don't have to get a stone. If they want one, they order it on their own from Washington Monument. We have one specific style that they can choose from down there. They get it engraved, they bring it to us. We'll put a ground rod on the backside of it, Washington Monument's supposed to drill a hole in the back. We'll epoxy a piece of rebar in the back, dig the hole, throw some concrete in there, a little water, dirt, and it should be somewhat secure there in the ground next to the tree. And this can happen anytime. It can happen, if they buy a tree now, it can happen now when they buy the tree, when it's planted, or it could happen 5 years from now, when they, if they decide they want to rock 5 years from now, we can do it then. So, but that is an additional cost to them, approximately $200 if they want to rock, engraved rock, and we'll install it.
Are the trees planted all year long or mostly in the fall?
Oh, good question. To get this off the ground, we won't normally do it this time. So I told staff, we'll order trees, they'll call now. We'll take orders all the way up to February 15th. So it'll be a spring planting this time, but we won't normally do a spring planting. I want to get this off the ground, and we have people on the wait list, so we're going to do a spring planting. If the deadline's 15th of February, trees will be ordered in March, and we'll have them by the end of March, and it'll be planted end of March, beginning of April. Then we'll get on our fall track, where the cutoff will be September 1st.
Okay.
So this year, we'll do 2 plantings, and then after that, next year, 25, we'll do 1 fall planting, and the cutoff date will always be September 1st. So any trees we have money for by September 1st, we'll order those in October and get them planted late October, beginning of November. And that'll be the schedule going forward.
We're gonna suggest or encourage that the donors, water their trees?
Well, I talked to staff about that, and we're trying to group the trees. So this year it's Krog, you can get a tree in Krog and, I can't remember the other park now. But we have them where the parks are fairly close, so we can water them with the watering truck. Instead of having one at the lake and one at Phoenix and one, we kind of have them grouped where the water truck can make a decent round.
Thank you.
And so that will likely change then from year to year, the parks.
Any other questions there? Nothing else on the agenda?
I have
Anybody?
a question for Councilman Patke. How we doing on the Legion deal for this summer? I haven't heard anything about it as of late.
Ironically, I was 3 minutes late because I was at a meeting there between our meeting this afternoon at 3 o'clock at Hall. So I've been here numerous times. But no, we just met this evening. Kent Getsy, Trent Hendrickson, Martin Eckhoff, and myself. Those guys met before I got there. We're doing well. All is good. I will tell you that Rawlings has stepped up to be a major sponsor. And we're looking into other levels of sponsorship to go along with that, including those who we all ask all the time, and others from out of town that have shown a lot of interest, not your normal sponsors for things like that. So we discussed, I guess you could say the hotel has been very easy to work with and great. As far as the banquet center and stuff like that, so that's kind of been solidified. They have such a checklist where they don't allow you to forget anything. What they want you to do is, from hotel rooms to transportation, all that kind of stuff. So, still being worked on, and we're in good shape as far as that goes. Trying to think if there's anything else prevalent. I mean, they're gonna do some raffle. Right now, there's a bourbon raffle going on that Kent and Trent had kind of done, so you may see that online if someone wants tickets for that. The normal dart ball tournament at the Legion will be in February, so that's a big fundraiser and hopefully even more so attended. And, season getting away. One criteria tonight was as far as timeline, it's still, obviously it's gonna be during the fair, when the state tournament has to be done in order to get teams here. So that may be tweaked where they want that to end on a Sunday. So then you just you back out of your season all the way from when the regional is, when the state tournament is, et cetera. So, but again, all that stuff is to an extent predetermined. They want a wow factor, and what we tell them what we plan on doing, they don't have an option. It's going to be a wow factor. It's going to be taken care of. We've been there. We know what works. We were fortunate to go last year to Alabama to know that they did a great opening ceremony, but after that, they kind of just left you alone. You know, and that's not what we want to do. I mentioned this to the chamber a couple weeks ago as far as coinciding with the fair and things like that, so we're hoping for open communication there and trying to promote the fair that's gonna be a block away when something's going on. And, you know, even we discussed tonight about having the games even earlier in the day, so we're not gonna be there at 8 o'clock at night when the tractor pull starts. And, you know, those kind of things, where they'll be able to play games during the day. You know, why not play a baseball game at 9 a.m. and be able to go to the fair at 6, you know, be there type thing. So, that's kind of the whole, the push right now. So sponsorship opportunities are out there. If someone in the general public wants a sponsor and is interested, look me up. We can hook you up with that. But we're kind of limited on where we can send everybody into. The main thing we'd love to do is have an organization sponsor each team. So then Gavin Woolley sponsors the team from Arkansas, and then on the times that they're not playing, you can bring them to the corn cob pipe factory, or you can bring them to somewhere else. You know, people will shut them around, but just kind of schedule that kind of thing. We're really looking at those, you know, making it special. We know when you go somewhere, the kids just can't sit in the hotel room.
Is that a 16 or 8 team?
8 teams. There will be, us as a host will be 1 team. There'll be a Missouri state champion and 6 other states. And as of right now, it's Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Am I missing one? Sometimes if the regional has to change just due to a team or a state, with Illinois sometimes goes to West Virginia, sometimes they're included in the Mid-South, so it just depends on how it breaks up the regional. But 1 team that wins that tournament will leave here, be transported to Lambert Airport, and they will fly to Shelby, North Carolina to compete in the World Series for the American Legion.
Immediately.
So when whoever leaves here will be heading, you know, that's part of the deal. They leave here on Sunday. On Tuesday, they're on the plane to go to Shelby, North Carolina to play in the World Series, which is televised.
Is that 3 or 4 day tournament?
That'll be
Ours, this one.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and if needed on Sunday.
Okay, so 4 or 5 days.
So there'll be 4 games on Wednesday, 4 games on Thursday, and at that time, it's a double elimination tournament, so 2 teams, possibly 3 will be eliminated, and they'll play 2 games, possibly 3 on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, and then an if game would be on Sunday. So, can't play more than 2 games in a day, so then that's, if the right team wins, it would be another game added on a Sunday, but it would not, we have it made where, you know, barring weather, rain, whatever, but with the turf field, we should not be a problem, and we're, like I said, in the middle of selling, you know, banners, you know, exterior fencing, bleaching, you know, all that kind of stuff is all being discussed right now, so. A lot of planning going in. Like I said, down to transportation, down to food, you know, additional things, souvenirs, all that kind of stuff, so.
Now, are you going to require much of the Parks Department as far as seating capacity,
No.
et cetera, et cetera?
No, they require more seating than we have in their packet, but by going to the games we've been at, you don't need any more than we have. They didn't have any more, they had less than that last year, mainly because teams don't stick around and watch all day long. They're there for their games and come and go. We hope when our kids play on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, we're gonna have opening ceremonies right before that game, between game 3 and 4. It's gonna be a very nice opening ceremony. It's gonna be great.
And well
Watching
attended.
it play, we plan on needing bleachers or having it packed. It'll be standing room only, and that'll be great. And that'll be, we're looking into the fact that we need to bring bleachers in, knowing that the fair ones are already spoken for, taken from, whether that's Union, Martinsville, Dutso, whatever, we'll get that done. But, you know, it's not bad to have standing room only and add to the environment and the overall feel of it, so.
Thanks, Jeff.
Sure.
Anything else? Anybody got anything?
I'd just like to wish everybody a happy, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I second
And
that.
everybody else as well.
Thank you.
Make a motion.
Make a motion, we-
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion to
I'll
adjourn.
make that motion.
Bob, Merry Christmas, and a motion. And
I'll second the
By
motion.
Gavin. All in favor?
Aye.
See you in
All
January.
right, see you guys in January.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Focus on the side or move it
See you in the
Break at school.
Right now, our intention
24th.